Hey everyone, welcome to H&M Technologies online training. You have learned how to read and write files, but what about managing the files and folders themselves? What if you want to check if a file exists before opening it and create a folder for your project and find all CSV files in a directory? Normally, you've done this by clicking in a file explorer or a file browser, whatever the you have, and but it can do by using a Python commands, and that will automatically and it's scalable. Today we're going to cover three tools: OS module, os.path, and pathlib. Let's get started. Let me open OS code. Let's see the OS module basics. And for this, I am importing a OS operating system. And firstly, we'll see the where is our script is running from. I am printing current folder as a os.get cwd. See, we get the output like a current folder is a users the J Python from scratch module 6. Okay, exactly. We are on the module 6 and the Python from scratch. The users the J, right? And see list of all files and folders here in the files. I can see the output. The 40 is CSV and JSON files, and the new movies and movies.json. Let's see the files that I am having in my file folder. You can see all the files I have, and this in the output terminal same as it is. All the files are here, magadira.json and tollywoodmovies.txt. We can see that. We can also create a new folder using os.make and the movies reports exit OK true. This is a very crucial here, and I'm created a folder for just for reference, and the exit true OK, it won't crash a folder already exist. Okay, let's see whether file is created or not. See, the folder is created here, movies reports, but empty folder, nothing here inside it, but folder is created. Just 2 lines of code we can create folders like this, and we can also rename the file with this statement. Okay, see, I used a with here and with open old.txt in the form of w mode as file, and file f dot write a test. See, this is also txt file also created with the inside a test. Okay, I created a new file and renamed the file, and inside text also created. And to rename this, I'm using a command os.rename. Let's see this os.rename, and old txt is going to be new txt renamed. And see here, before this is a old txt, now it is a new txt file. This way you can rename our files, and we can also delete our files with just on command just dot remove. Okay, delete a file, os.remove new txt and deleted. Let's see whether it is deleted or not. Yes, see here, no file is there, but previously we have created, and now it is see strike of mark, it is deleted. We can delete, we can create, we can rename, and we can also delete a empty folder. See, we have previously we have a folder called movie reports, only empty folder. Now it is not here because I just removed that empty folder with the help of this os.rmd movies reports. Here is 3 things you need to remember always. OS data make dictionaries is like a DRS is a create a folder, and use exit OK true always. Okay, it doesn't make crash your previous folders if it is exist with the same name. Okay, now os data rename to rename files, and os data remove to delete a file, and rmdir for empty folders only. Okay, whether it is data inside, we can't use this rmdir. Now working with the paths, file paths are tricky. Windows uses backslashes, and Linux and Mac uses forward slashes, like you can see backslash and forward slash, and os.path handles all of that automatically, so your code works everywhere. For this, I am importing OS, and the file path is projects movies data.csv. Let's see, does this file is exist or not. Okay, and see, os.path exist, everything is a false because it doesn't exist in my files. Okay, now I created a file and a folder with os.path join. It works everywhere if you don't use this plus and slash as a like how you previously used as a file name, file path projects for forward slashes. But here I use safe path is os.path join. This way I can insert any path and folder to my OS. And now it's time to open our file and check before it's opening. And also I'm checking before it opening. And for this, first I am importing my OS, import OS. Then I created a file name with the function with the file name. Function is read file safely, and here I'm giving a condition if not OS path exists a file name, and print a file doesn't exist and return none. And if it is exist, and then if OS path and get size, I'm also getting the size file name, and the printing file name is empty if it is a 0. Okay, and now I'm trying to open file with the file name and in a reading mode as a file, and read all the lines, and I'm reading the data file and data read file safely, and I use the movies.csv if data, and then print read and the length of the data and lines. See, it for movies.csv it reads the files, and it give file names. One is movies and triple R Bahubali Pushpa KGF. This is the file names. That's what we get. And if I try to get a file name, if it is not exist, and I'm trying to open this missing file.txt, and you can see the output here. Missing file.txt doesn't exist. So always check os.path dot exist before opening a file. It prevents unnecessary crashes of your program. Okay. Now this way we can check whether a file is existed before your opening. And we'll see the chapter 4 path library, the modern way. Pathlib was added in Python 3.4, and previously we don't have this, and it is a modern and a recommended way to work with paths. It's cleaner and more readable than os.path. Once you try it, you'll know how it is perfect it is. The key idea is we'll just assume instead of functions you work with path objects. Okay, now let's see. For this I am importing path library from path. So we have different ways to import. I don't want only path, so I'm using a from pathlib import that from path. Okay, and I'm creating a path object which is a p path movies.csv. Now I'm printing exist if it is exist and true, and a file true, and name is a path name movies.csv, and stem movies, and you'll see output here also, and I just here also have outputs, and this is the pathlib basics that we use in a daily basis. And let's try to create folders and read and write the folders. Okay, first as usual I'm importing a pathlib from a path, and I created a folder with output variable and path outputs and reports. This is the folder name, and then I'm using a path parent is a true parent to a file, and then exist okay, and it is always be a true, and then printing created the output is outputs and reports, and then saying written a file, no open needed here for the report a file output and summary.txt. You can see the folder here outputs and outputs and reports, and inside that summary.txt. Okay, now we have a data inside a triple R and a pushpa 2. Let's see and how it's happened. And a report file dot we use write txt text, and we AO triple R 1200 crore, and in a new line pushpa 2, and the new line we gave, and print file written, and I printed a file written, Then it's time to read, and I'm read back and content report file.read txt, and as usual print content. The content is a triple R 1200 course and pushpa 1800 course. So this way you can create a folder and inside a file, and inside data also can create, and we can write and read the data. Write text method and read text are pathlib shortcuts. You can see here we can to read, here read text to use, and write text. This is the pathlib shortcuts. So in this video we have learned OS module, operating system module, and create folders and rename and delete files, and also is an os.path dot join. It builds a path safely across the platforms, whether it is Windows, Mac, Linux, or anything. And we also use the os.path exist to check before it is opening whether a file is existing or not, because without getting any crashes while we opening file if it is not exist. And then we use pathlib dot path, the modern way to cleaner approach, and we can with that we can open a file and we can create a file. We inside the file we insert data also with the help of write txt, write text, and read text shortcuts, and forward slash operator to join paths. This is all we learn in today video. Here we have practice questions, beginner, intermediate. Okay, and the pause the video and see the questions and open your VS Code and try this. Okay, this makes you feel a bit confident that you learn something once you've done these practice questions. This is about module 6 and exception and Python file handling. You learn everything need to build programs that handle errors gracefully and work with real data files. And module 7 up next, it is advanced Python concepts. See you there. Thank you for choosing H&M Technologies online training. Happy coding. Bye bye. And try all these practice questions throughout this module.